hiding to manage to win the game for his teammates.
Well, I'm sure Divios is hoping that he doesn't get focused out this time around as we jump into picks and bans for game number 1. And it'll be Eager with the first pick and the first ban selection of Circuit. Why are we seeing so much Circuit ban lately?
It's kind of twofold. She's very good at pressure. You know, her early fight, even without her ult, is very scary. You know, it can force beats, does a ton of damage. And I think a lot of solo laners are pretty scared of it as well, because she can, you know, pop up in your lane from ages away and just kill you. She's got the same mobility as Susanoo, the same ability to catch you out, but she does a lot more damage because of the true damage on her ult.
It just seems that Eager doesn't want to deal with Circuit in general. It's been one of the common bans from Eager specifically compared to other teams, but Black Dragons have done their homework, banning out the Chang'e, recognizing that DJ Pernicus has the capability of running this in the jungle role.
I mean, DJ Pernicus basically is Chang'e at this point. He's just non-stop, absolute beast on the Chang. He loves dancing around and going wherever he pleases with the setup and the sustain. I also really like the Sylvanas ban from Eager. They've done their homework as well. They even got to watch the Brazilian team play yesterday. And do you think that provides them with a slight advantage in this matchup today at Araxia?
Absolutely. You know, even though Black Dragons may have hidden something, they can't hide everything. And everything that they've shown, you can absolutely guarantee Eager are being on top of it, and they know exactly, you know, what to expect out of this. They've done their homework. They'd be silly not to, and I think the draft is going to reflect it.
We were talking about the solo lane matchup. Divios against Kliz, Bologna, highly prioritized by a lot of teams to not necessarily to win the matchup right off the bat, but to guarantee themselves not losing it. Very difficult for Bologna to get behind in that lane.
Can you ever really go wrong with a Bologna selection?
Not really. She's very robust. She, as you said, it's very difficult to actually lose a lane as Bologna. Winning isn't always the case, but losing is it's an odd thing to do. She's very hard to kill, and when it comes to team fights or ultimate, they're all great abilities that you can, you know, you're never upset about. You're never upset that you've got disarm for 2 seconds on the stun and the aura. She's just all round a very robust pick, and I think that's why she's been prioritized so heavily.
The protections and the damage that the Eagles Rally provides for your teammates, making sure that you find multiple targets with that shield bash, the bludgeon, trying to amplify the damage. I really like the kit on this god.
So considering that Eager have already prioritized the Bologna as the first pick selection, what would you like to see in response by Black Dragons? Would you ideally want to see them lock in a solo laner as well, or just not even worry about it right now?
I think they should try to get their solo laner third, because if they don't, then Eager have got their choice of bans to really give Bologna the good matchup. You know, Bologna even is bad enough. Bologna ahead, which they can guarantee with the bans, is a different wheelhouse, you know? I
wouldn't be surprised if Vamana were to be banned, as well as Osiris from Eager, if that solo lane matchup wasn't locked in for Black Dragons. But to respond to the Bologna, Fafnir, Hu Yi, a great dual lane to really have. You can't go wrong with that one.
And the Medusa Poseidon on the other end, though, by Eager. And we saw it in Luminosity's matchup where Baskin tried to make that Poseidon play against the Fafnir. Do you feel as though Black Dragons, after locking in that Robin, are looking for the same kind of tanky presence frontline against it?
It feels that way. Both teams have got very pressure-heavy comps, and Black Dragon in particular looks quite like a rival draft. You know, I thought we saw this exact same pick and ban from them, you know, minus the Kurnanos ban, and yeah, I'm very interested to see whether that's going to be Kliz's Robin in solo, or whether they're going to try run it in jungle with that Sunder.
Absolutely. Oship has known to be playing a lot of these aggressive junglers, so that could be an opportunity for them to flex their guns in that jungle role.
And Eager not having their jungler selected yet, I would imagine that Black Dragon's probably going to just look to ban away some of the jungle picks from Mr. Pernicus.
Yeah, and this is the problem that I said earlier, you know, with DJ. What do you even ban here? He has so much that he could, you know, he could even be practicing Arachne right now. That sounds ridiculous, but because it's Pern, you don't know. It could be anything, so it's very difficult to target bans. I think they've got to aim at not what they think he's going to play, but rather what would screw them over.
And I do think that they chose to do the latter of the two that you just mentioned by banning away that Khepri, ensuring that no res is going to be available on the side of Eager, because Aurora, though he's typically a little bit more aggressive of a playstyle, I 100% agree that a Khepri would have most definitely been a massive issue for what Black Dragon's trying to run, because when you have gods that just want to completely face tank the enemy team, you don't want to be dealing with the Khepri in between all of that.
Having Fafnir already locked in for Black Dragons, that's one support that Eager doesn't have to worry about. Taking Khepri away from the table, I wouldn't be surprised if Geb was taken away, another defensive god that Eager couldn't be running, but Aurora's not necessarily known for always running this defensive style. Sometimes he'll opt to go for aggressive option, even running Erlong Shen, trying to truly support the best in that mid lane.
It would be Eager, an Erlang Shen would be very scary for Black Dragon to deal with right now, but at the same time, Eager have got themselves in a bit of a corner. If they draft that, then they're forced into a magical jungler, unless they're going to run Poseidon as the only magical, which is a bit...
Poseidon could be jungle, actually.
That is
DJ
true.
Pernicus could easily run Poseidon in that jungle. You guys might be surprised by it, but the mobility is there, the damage is truly there, and Medusa could be potentially for the best in mid.
What about Cabrakan?
Cabrakan is up, yeah, that's another option for Team Eager to run.
It is it's unique, I'd say, that we've gotten this far into a draft with NA and Cabrakan has not been banned or picked. He's usually very, very sought after, and it's definitely there, and it would be a strong pick for them, I think.
I feel as though that might be a little bit due to the fact of how Cabrakan has fared so far against the EU, especially after what happened in the Gauntlet LAN. I think a lot of NA teams got a chance to see that there is more than one way to deal with the Cabrakan if necessary, but considering that Vulcan has been the next selection for Black Dragon, overall, do you think that that's a solid team composition?
It's very EU, so I love it. I think it's got the perfect late game. It's got the great early game. It's a draft you can do a lot with. You can play the game very differently with the characters Black Dragon have picked, and I think regardless of what their fifth thing is, it's going to be very well rounded.
Aphrodite being hovered over by Team Eager. This would be a sight to see if this actually gets locked in.
And that could most definitely be a Poseidon jungle if it is the Aphrodite, which will be the selection. Eager does it yet again, bringing out so much flavor to the LAN.
I actually think it's going to be Afro support. I think it's Afro support, Poseidon mid, and Erlang jungle. That would be my guess, or maybe Bologna jungle. But I think Afro seems a very Aurora god. I don't know why.
That makes sense.
I'm really thinking that, and I hope it is, because that would be just excellent. But I think Afro is Aurora.
It makes so much sense because Aurora loved running Aphrodite support with Neilma, he's the support player for Oxygen Supremacy, but those two absolutely love running double healer lanes, and Aphrodite support would be quite a nuisance, and I don't know, that's just, it's so much fun already. Looking at both of these drafts, who do you guys have for game number one?
I mean, Black Dragon have the better draft, in my opinion, but how can you really root against something so unorthodox like Aphrodite? So if it's Aurora's Aphrodite, then Eager. If not, Black Dragon.
I gotta give it with Eager. Their composition is too spicy, and I'm loving it.
I absolutely love the Aphrodite pick, so I'm going to root for Eager on this one as well, as much as it would kill my ranked games. But now to bring you guys game number one, we've got Aggro, we've got Hughesy, and all the fun to unfold.
Thank you very much, Analyst. Aggro, what is this draft?
An Eager special. The old-fashioned Eager special. They're always ready to pull something out that no other team is really prepared for. Aphrodite's one of those gods that you always hear whispers about, like, yeah, this team's practicing Afro, that team's practicing Afro. Leave it to Eager to be the ones to actually
pull it out. Yeah. And, you know, whether it's Aphrodite mid or support or whatever, it's still an Aphrodite in a competitive game, something we haven't seen for a very, very long time.
That's true, and it just goes back to this double immune sort of thing that they're looking for. Black Dragon, they've got the Raven with the immune. Now Eager has one of their own, and really two of their own, whenever Aphrodite's linked to one of her teammates. So Eager, this draft is insane in the late game. You've got good front line. You've got good... That is Aphrodite jungle. Okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. DJ pulled out Chang'e jungle, like Afro jungle. You know, it's similar. It's a healing mage. That's my analysis right there.
I was sitting with Eager watching the last set, and Best turns around to me at one point and says, "We're trolling this game." and I laughed and said, "Oh, you know, Best," and he just kept staring at me, man. He wasn't kidding. Well, I'm kidding by saying they weren't kidding. This isn't, I don't think, a deliberate troll. I don't think Eager isn't taking Black Dragon seriously, but this is certainly a test drive, if you will, for the Aphrodite in the jungle, just seeing how well it works in a competitive setting.
Black Dragons, looking at their draft, a bit more standard if you're looking at Europe. For North America, it's a little bit unorthodox, so we'll have to see if Eager, you know, from those previous two sets, whether they've learned enough to play around this Raven jungle. The Vulcan mid as well, if none can hit some of those skill shots, it's going to be devastating.
Without a doubt, this Raven jungle seems to be the fad right now, in Europe in particular, and in the matchup where it was Team Rival running it, I think it was really effective because of the draft that they had with the 3 frontliners and then the 2 hunters on top of it. Black Dragons is a little more standard outside of the Raven jungle. The 2 times we've seen Raven jungle have a ton of success was with Rival whenever they had 2 hunters behind 3 frontliners, and for Obey, where they had Osiris in the solo lane with the Robin in the jungle to just guarantee tons of early pressure on that right-hand side and really run down mages. Now, this draft from Black Dragons can do similar things to that Obey draft, but I don't know if it's as effective.
Divio's taking a lot of damage here in the solo lane early, but Kliz is still only level 1.
That meditation coming out of DJ was huge. No purification beads, no Aegis, and it ends up saving Divios there potentially. That Sunder coming out from Oship was big there to almost knock down Divios, but now that Divios has gotten that meditation from DJ and the heal, he's going to be just fine in this lane.
Kliz taking a little bit of poke there from both Divios and DJ, but they're just looking to clear the wave. Oship going for the blue buff, just making sure they can secure that one. Hercules without a blue buff is not fun to play.
Not at all, but DJ has been able to just really farm safely thus far. Doesn't get his own speed, it doesn't look like, but it doesn't really matter that much. Is still surviving to the 2-minute mark, and that isn't a high bar necessarily to make sure that you're surviving to 2 minutes, but Aphrodite jungle is one of those things where it's, if you can get out of the early game, if you can get to the mid game, all of a sudden it doesn't matter what role the Aphrodite's playing. It's just that you have an Aphrodite on your team, and that in itself is hard to handle.
Expand to me a little bit more on this Aphrodite. What does she provide outside of the obvious heals?
It's just control in the team fights, the sustained team fights are going to be very difficult for Black Dragons to fight into, as well as the fact that the big burst damage coming out of Non's ultimate will be immune. Every time that DJ has that Undying Love up, this means the best can be pretty free with his Aegis, able to kite Oship kills and PB a little bit better in these team fights. Just gives you more flexibility with your relics and the fact that you can really take these extended engagements, whereas Black Dragons cannot. They have no sustain on their side.
All right, getting towards the 3-minute mark. Not a whole lot of early aggression other than that kind of solo lane boxing match between the solo and jungle of Black Dragons and Eager. Fire Elemental's going to fall the way of Eager here. A little bit of a goal advantage for them, not really much to talk about, only in the hundreds, but Eager kind of happy to take this one to the later stages of the game.
Without a doubt, this Aphrodite is definitely waiting for those later stages, and he's really been duo laning basically with Divios. Zapman being alone on the left is something that we've seen Eager do consistently throughout the online portion of the spring split. And I like this idea, picking that Bellona early, first pick Bellona, taking it for Divios, and just allowing him to duo around with DJ. Now, the first rotation of buffs, gonna go Black Dragon's way with the Robin up against the level 1 Aphrodite. But even the second rotation is in danger of getting invaded for Black Dragons just because of how much pressure Divios is gonna have linked with DJ.
You can see here they're getting a lot of pressure down on the solo side, and then probably going to head towards their speed buff, look to secure that one. Kliz, you know, he had a decent showing against Team Isurus. He seemed to be just kind of the solid, consistent block of the team. You know, not really showing off too hard, but not really, you know, making any negative plays either.
And that's what he said in the interview afterwards. He was saying, you know, shout outs to my team because I kind of got carried that set. And sometimes you just don't have the strongest set, and that's what you have teammates for, right? Is to pick you up in situations like that. Kliz definitely has the skill level to make plays at the international stage, so he's going to try and redeem himself here up against Eager.
So Divios has invested heavily early here into pots and into that health chalice, just going for the death toll. And, you know, given the sustain he's got with that build and also with DJ, he can really afford to do this.
I am a little bit surprised to see Divios go for that amount of investment into the health potion, or health chalice rather, because he knows that DJ is going to be around. I mean, I'm sure this is a planned out strategy that they know is happening, but either way, even if DJ does rotate, this means he's going to be able to take as much poke as necessary in order to gain dominance on that right-hand side.
Kliz is teleported into this lane, so this is actually a little bit of an advantage for Eager because their own solo lane, Divios, will have his teleport up. He could walk back to lane, he might use it, but for now they have that option open and available to them as we see the left-hand side camp's going to fall freely to Eager. These neutral objectives seem to be something they're really heavily controlling at this stage.
And this is not a good look for Black Dragons to give up neutral objectives like Oracles, like Fire Elementals, things of that nature to an Aphrodite jungle. You have to be ready to fight early on against a composition like this.
Kliz is going to push back Divios there, just taking some more and more poke out of this solo side. I haven't seen DJ leave this lane other than go to blue buff or to Fire Elementals.
He hasn't even backed yet, Hughes. I mean, he's still sitting at just the Bumba's Mask and the Sands of Time. That tells you exactly how much mana regen he's getting from that item. Now looking to back probably after clearing these back Harpies because there's just nothing else to do in that right side jungle outside of the right side mid Harpies.
And he can go get boots. Zapman with the Petrify there onto Marcel's, trying to catch him unawares, but Marcel's smart enough not to be looking towards a Medusa.
I don't mind that play there from Zap, just kind of checking if Marcel's is paying attention in that sort of instance. It doesn't look like Eager is really looking to fight anytime soon for the next 60 seconds or so, so Zapman knows he's safe without that ultimate for the time being.
He actually spotted out there. Oship was hanging around the wall looking to jump onto Best or maybe even Aurora, but Zapman just walks up behind him and is like, oh, hello, what's going on here?
This Sands of Time pickup for DJ is really important, not only for himself, but for the fact that whoever he's linked to is also going to be getting some increased mana regen. It's going to help out the Best in situations like this, where the Best is a little bit low on mana, even if DJ is not. And this is what Aphrodite can do. Now, there are some shortcomings to Aphrodite in terms of what she can do in comparison to other healers, namely Chunga, Ra, Sylvanas, things like that. It's single target healing, not AoE.
Gold Fury started up here by Black Dragons. I like this early aggressive call. However, there is a big ultimate available on the side of Eager and the Kraken. Eager going into the Gold Fury pit, just preventing Black Dragons from doing that.
None, a little bit out of position, but gets out of danger before Best can hit him with that Trident. No slows available for the Best quite yet outside of that standard Whirlpool. Only level 2 boots, though, for the Best. No penetration or cooldown boots yet for the mid laner. So that's a decent idea from Black Dragons trying to force a fight at that moment, because Nan is a little bit more, has a little bit more power available to him than the Best does. But on the other side, Oship is sitting at tier 2 boots, whereas DJ has finished his off. So there's a bit of a trade-off there in terms of where the damage is coming from both sides.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Black Dragons go a little bit more aggressive with this Raven jungle pick. You know, you said before, it's a very aggressive pick early, and that's what, you know, you want to be with it. You want to be aggressive, you want to be inventing, you want to be looking for ganks, but thus far they've been happy to sit back and farm, but that plays into Eager's favor.
Without a doubt, and that can really happen against teams where, you know, you're sitting and you're coming out of your region and you're ready to play against the big boys, and you're like, oh man, we have to play Zapman and the Best and Aurora and DJ and Divios, like these legends of the SPL that have been around for so long, and then you got to get mesmerized into, hey, we're not losing, like we can just keep doing this, and then but you never realize that Eager's just been winding up for one quick swift punch right to the face. So you got to be wary of that. Black Dragons needs to be the aggressors here. They're already running out of time.
Yeah, 3,000 experience in the lead is Eager here early, which is very surprising to me. I knew they had a little bit of an advantage, but didn't know it was to quite that extent. So now even if Black Dragons look to go a little bit aggressive here, they're actually going to be at a disadvantage.
And this is the thing that I think a lot of these international teams have to really start to worry about, is their mechanics have all basically caught up. All of these players are really, really excellent mechanically. But every team that scrims these guys, or it's not Black Dragons in particular, I'm talking about regions with a little bit less experience than Europe and North America, it's their objective control needs work. Their buff control needs a little bit of work. And those are things that are hard to learn and guess unless you're getting punished consistently for those shortcomings by really, really strong teams. Black Dragons, from all accounts that we've heard this weekend, are good in the early stages of the game. They're good at fighting, but they need work with objective control. And Eager makes the best teams in North America look like they need work with objective control. Good luck.
Aurora getting a double taunt there, forcing the ultimate out of Nan as well. Zapman could have petrified there, but chose to hold it. They were just waiting to bait things out, and now they've baited the teleport out of Cliz. Black Dragons need to find something here, otherwise it's a heavy, heavy loss.
Divios is still just getting fire elementals on that right-hand side. Now they will look towards the Gold Fury as Oship and Nan right there, getting ready to pull it, but Divios does have his teleport ready to go in case a fight breaks out.
Zapman stunned out there by PB. Cliz looking to get a pull. Marcel's. No, sorry, that's Oship actually jumping straight onto Zapman. Petrify comes out, but Oship too much damage. Down falls the Hunter for Team Eager.
First blood goes Black Dragon's way. Divios has teleported in behind the rest of Black Dragons. I don't know if they know he's here. Gold Fury below 50% HP as Aurora gets plucked back in.
Aurora in a lot of trouble here. Down come the Suns. Marcel's picks him up. The Kraken comes out from Best, and DJ Pernicus gets a kill. Black Dragons, they've got 3 kills now, but their health bars are getting very, very low, and the Best is chasing him down.
Trying to get there. They're all so low, but the Best can't quite find it. Not enough damage yet for the mid laner. DJ did a great job of keeping Divios alive in the middle of 4 members of Black Dragons for a long time, but he's low on mana and doesn't have a ton of power to boost up that healing coming out of the birds. Divios there tried to make it happen with a nice Eagles rally, but again, just not enough power from DJ to keep him alive. Great play out of Oship, though, not only identifying that Zapman was out of position, but then body blocking the dash as soon as he landed with the ultimate. Zap being in the wrong spot there, and partial due to the fact that to a great ward right on that middle entrance to the left side lane there, really the one that spots him out and lets Oship know exactly where Zap was.
A little bit of overconfidence, I think, from Eager, you know, thinking they could basically play Black Dragons the way they wanted to, and, you know, Zapman pretty far out of position there, to be
Yes.
totally honest, and just very cocky, I think is the way to say that for Eager.
Well, luckily for Eager, the best hit a massive Kraken that turned the fight completely. That could have been horrible for the blue team, but the mid lane veteran setting them up for some success.
In goes Oship again. They're looking for the best. DJ Pernicus is there though, and that's the Aphrodite ult. Aurora in a lot of trouble. Kraken comes out, but Marcel's has already got one. Best gets the return kill, and here comes Divios, the solo lane monster, is looking for Nan, but he can't find him. Marcel's is now on his own. Oship trying to save him. Vulcan ulti hits the best, but Marcel's, he jumps over the wall and he finds Zapman.
DJ's gonna be the one to claim number 2 for himself in the jungle. 3 for Eager in total. Best gonna meet Kliz in the jungle. Nice whirlpool prevents the driving strike and allows DJ to get there to heal him up.
Kliz jumps in, actually. Oship's here. Oship picks up the best, the flank from the Raven jungle. Here comes Nan, backfires out. Oship still looking for this Aphrodite. They can't kill her. Divios chasing after Nan. Zapman dashes in. Kliz body blocking desperately for his mid laner, but Divios, he wants the blood. He wants the kill.
The bird's over the wall. It's gonna be enough. DJ with his 3rd kill early on. Black Dragon certainly taking it to Eager overall, but they've got to find an answer for this Aphrodite. 3-0-1, level 13. He's the highest level in the game right now, Hughes, and that is scary stuff if you're rooting for the underdogs.
He's already got shield and regrowth online as well, so he's going to be moving super, super fast right now. Very hard to lock down, and all of his abilities are designed to basically keep him alive. His 2 pushes enemies away, his 3 heals, his 4 is an immunity. It's just, how do you lock down this Aphrodite?
You have to just commit everything, basically, but you also have to spread out your committal. You can't just blow it all at one time. You have to bait out the ultimate, and then the Aegis, and then you can go in. And Oship has the kit to do it on this Robin in particular. He can overhead kick that knockback. He can make sure that he's not getting stunned out by the kiss as well. Just a matter of being patient and understanding the cooldowns, but DJ is one of the best in terms of just staying locked in and not forcing his hand too early. He's very good at the game of chicken in terms of when he's supposed to be using his abilities.
Divios knocked up. They're taking a lot of damage. Sunder not available for Oship, but they're happy just to punish the solo laner a little bit. But I want to look, and I want to take a look at Black Dragon's builds here. Early investment into anti-heal, and I really like this. Getting that online now and not suffering too much from a loss of power rather than when the healing becomes a problem later.
Divine Ruin, definitely the right call there. I would love to see Oship go for a Brawler's Beat Stick next. Could have even gone for it instead of this Jotun's Wrath. Certainly going to need at least one Brawler's Beat Stick, but it does hurt Black Dragons that Fafnir went for the Pestilence instead of an Aura item. Now, luckily, it looks like Aurora is going to be going for not Sovereignty or not a Heartward Amulet, so that overall reduction of power is going to not be there for the support for Eager either. But if he goes for Gauntlet of Thieves, then that's a solid Aura item for the rest of his team that Fafnir and Black Dragons won't have.
Looking now towards the Gold Fury is Eager. Looking to maybe catch out P-Bay here. Aurora pins him in place. Huge amount of damage coming up, but he dashes away just before the Whirlpool. But Nana's burned his ultimate, and this is going to mean Eager's, they're going to be able to have the secure on the Gold Fury if they want it.
This is what Eager wants. Take all the damage you want. We've got the Aphrodite to heal it all up. We'll trade poke all day long. And look at where Divios is, between the towers on the right-hand side, forcing Kliz over there to make sure that Eager has the numbers at least even on that left side.
Kliz 2 levels behind Divios as well. Going to be so hard for him to come back into this one and to even just, you know, contest in this lane against Divios.
That's true, but he did go for the Mystical Mail, so while he fell behind initially because of how long it takes to get that item going, now that he's completed it, that's a huge power spike for him, not only just in terms of protection, but in terms of damage output as well. You're going to be able to use that magical aura to just do constant tick damage in the middle of these team fights. And that could be the difference maker between a low health Aphrodite getting a heal off or dying before the cooldown comes back up.
Oracle Harpy's going to be respawning soon. P-Bay hanging around, trying to keep his own vision up on this area, making sure Eager isn't going in for a sneaky Gold Fury. Looking at terms of the gold differences, now swung back in favor of Eager after Black Dragons took a little bit of a lead early. Experience, though, is still in favor of Team Eager.
5-4, and Black Dragons have done a great job of just hanging in there up against the top seed out of North America. But this draft from Eager gets better and better as the game goes on. Now, there is a lot to be said about Black Dragon's late game draft as well. While their right side is pretty early game focused between the Robin and the Hercules, Hercules translates pretty well to the late game. He's basically unkillable there. And then Nan, we've seen what late game Vulcans can do so far today, both on Wolfie and on Pretty Prime. Fafnir, for my money, is the Guardian I'd rather have rather than any other in terms of late-game team fights. And Hu Yi can do it all at all stages of the game. He can be that late-game hyper carry. He could be your early-game bully in lane as well. So this draft from Black Dragon certainly doesn't suffer too badly in the late stages. I just don't know if they're going to have an answer for DJ on this Aphrodite.
Zapman just poking out this Gold Fury here, just making sure that Marcellus and PB have to stick around here and can't go for any more farm. DJ Pernica's going to hang around here as well. It really looks like Eager want to pressure this Gold Fury and force Black Dragons into an unfavorable fight.
Aurora playing this Erlong Shen, he's very comfortable on this god. He's played it quite a bit, specifically at LAN, but it's usually with long-range damage as the follow-up. It's usually with the Raw, things like that, that can follow up from a safe distance. It's what makes Erlong so good in the support role, is that he has CC from a distance with that pin combination, but Poseidon kind of fits that bill. Now, the knock-up into the knock-up from Kraken into 72 transformations is incredibly potent, and just laying down a Whirlpool on that pin is also going to be pretty effective, but not necessarily have that 100-0 potential we've seen.
Oship knocked up there by Aurora. Here's the taunt into the Whirlpool. Where's the Kraken? Oship uses that overhead kick. Zapman, Petrify, only finds 9. There's the Vulcan ultimate just to peel away that Medusa.
What a great disarm from PB, but it's not enough. Divios rallies onto Nan, picks up number 5, and evens it up for Eager.
That has got to be tilting to see this Bologna come out of nowhere, but Zapman's pulled into the tower. Kraken finds 3, but not enough damage for the kill. Zapman somehow still alive. He wasn't even healed there by DJ.
But he's going to get linked up now, and the heals are on the way. Look at how healthy everyone from Eager is outside of Zapman, who gets the heal right before breaking the link. You can tell this team has been working on this pick for quite some time. They look pretty comfortable with it.
Gold Fury started up now. They know it's going to be very difficult for Black Dragons to contest this. PB is actually going to transform back soon, so he needs to make sure he's in a safe position when that happens. Kliz is teleported in behind. I don't know if Eager spotted him out. They sit him on the ward now, so they're going to make sure they don't come back into this Gold Fury pit. So not all is lost here for Black Dragons. They lose a member, but they don't lose the Gold Fury. Oh, Ship actually going in, but excellent turnaround here from Eager just to keep that Raven away. Good knock up from Kliz. Aurora's in a lot of trouble, but the Suns were off the mark. Marcel's doesn't mind, though. He still gets the kill.
DJ now healing Zapman 5v4. Eager still trying to press forward using that sustain, but the kiss from DJ doesn't find a home onto Kliz, and so Eager forced to back away. I was talking about it earlier. There is a problem with the Aphrodite sustain. It's not like Chang'e, Ra, Hell, something like that, where you can hit the whole team. DJ has to make the right choice in these team fights every time, and Black Dragons have done a phenomenal job of switching targets depending on where the kiss is. If they see DJ's link to Divios, no focus on the Divios, we'll kill Aurora instead. If he's on Zapman, we can look for one of the frontliners or the best. A really, really smart play so far out of Black Dragons.
Kliz actually was huge for me in that team fight. His teleport in behind Zapman, forcing basically Eager into a narrow corridor and then getting an advantageous situation for his team. Excellent work out of the solo laner of Black Dragons.
I agree with you. Definitely having a strong showing so far up in this game. Like I said, he was a little bit behind earlier, but this Mystical Mail has done enough for him, just in terms of giving him the protections to be able to frontline. And of course, that damage, while it may not look like a lot on the player damage charts, it's basically all been relevant so far, and that's what's important. Divios, yes, a lot of his damage has been relevant, but also quite a bit in terms of just slap fighting the opposition. Divios definitely important in terms of cleaning up Nan under that mid tower at the very, very beginning of that engagement. But look at how much
That's
healing.
so neat to see.
DJ's done.
Right on 10,000.
Clean. Just 10K. Clean 10K.
Calculated.
And look how many players from Black Dragons have 10K damage. 0.
None.
0. So DJ has effectively eliminated Oship's player damage and then some.
Oship and half of PB's player damage are just gone.
Just gone. Like it never even happened. Now,
well, technically, if you add Aurora's healing in there, then Oship and PB have done 0 damage this game.
So it's 3v5 basically in terms of damage. But as I was mentioning, this isn't spread out over the team. This is single target. So Black Dragons need to continue what they're doing. They're on the right track in terms of getting to the right targets that DJ is not linked to. But this is a problem now because Best has just completed Gem of Isolation, and those fights where Black Dragons are getting away with 1 HP and are able to just escape the clutches of Eager aren't going to happen as often anymore, with Best having this big control item available to him now.
Kliz might be in some trouble here. DJ's rotated around, so Divius is just going to keep banging on this Hercules. He is very, very tanky, but so much damage continuously hitting him. He'll be all right, but again, it just puts pressure on the solo lane side, which opens up so much for Eager.
So I was looking for a Brawler's Beat Stick coming out of Oh Shit, but went for the Runic Shield instead to reduce the magical power of both DJ and the Best. It isn't the Brawlers that I still think they need, but I love the idea.
Here comes Oship, they're looking for the Best. Aegis burnt. Here comes the Vulcan ultimate. It hits no one. Kraken is huge there, but Best is still in a lot of trouble. Sun's raining down from ourselves. Oship transforms into the Dragon. Nan, though, finds him with the backfire. Divios, though, is huge with the Eagles rally. Ship running away, but Zapman says, hold on, son, I'm not done with you yet.
Kliz is still in the mid lane. PB in a bad spot in this jungle. Zapman notches his double kill. 7-7 now. Eager evens it up. Great job by the Best. He doesn't survive, but he extends. Another beautiful meditation, that time from Aurora. Just makes it so the Black Dragons have to commit too much in order to find that kill, and so that's why Zapman is able to find the double.
He just buys so much time for his team and is forcing the enemy team as well. You can see Kliz, Oship, and PB look like they're all starting out for level 1 Witchblade. Sorry. No,
yeah,
not Witchblade.
Could be Witchblade, could be Wingblade. Either one could be really strong because Wingblade obviously gets you at the slows coming out from the Best, but Witchblade is an anti-heal item these days.
Ooh, Aurora stunned there. Could be in some trouble. Kliz, nice knock into the wall there. Marcel's picks up the kill, but now Nan's under some pressure here from Zapman. Good H will keep him alive for now. Divios, a lot of damage there with that bludgeon. Marcel's just throwing out auto after auto onto Zapman. Divios picks up Nan. Divios looks like he's going to be able to get out of this one for free.
Divios playing his classic Bologna. This is a dude who has played this god forever and has always been dominant on it. 2-1-5. He has been critical in these team fights for Eager, cleaning up the low health targets and coming in at the exact right time with those Eagles rallies to turn a fight. That looked like it was going to be Black Dragon's fight all the way through right around this area where we are right now, this red buff for Eager, but it was the Eagles rally from Divios in addition to the meditation from Aurora drawing Black Dragons a little bit farther down that allowed Eager to turn it around. Divios is having a great game thus far.
And one big thing about the Eagles rally that's not talked about enough is the amount of physical protections you get from standing in the aura of that ultimate.
Without a doubt, it's a huge area to, well, rally in the middle of a team fight.
See what you did there.
You can just take so much more damage, and that is something that goes underlooked. You're usually like, oh man, I just got stunned and took damage from the Bologna, but then you don't realize that it's more difficult to take the fights in that area.
And especially up against this Raven, his ultimate means that everyone that's caught by it takes extra damage. When you're getting extra protections, it mitigates some of the effectiveness of that ultimate.
Without a doubt, and just kind of punch through that, but Oship has got to be finding the right targets with this Sunder as well. The communication for Black Dragons has to be phenomenal this game, not only between who's getting ulted by Robin, who's getting sundered by Robin, who needs peel, where DJ is, and who DJ is linked to, your target selection. I mean, you got a long laundry list of things you've got to check in these team fights, and Black Dragons have been very impressive thus far, holding even with Eager through 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very impressive start for the Brazilian squad. They are going to lose their tier 1 tower on the right-hand side here, finally to Divios and DJ Pernicus. It's been on low health for a long time, and Kliz has done an admirable job of kind of, you know, Divios has been the driving factor for Eager in this game, but he's kept himself relevant.
And that's all that Black Dragons needs. He's been very relevant in this game. Gold Fury going underneath 50%. Zap trying to get into there with the acid spray, but the taunt is there from Aurora.
Eager looking like they want to take this fight in. Let's take a listen in with them as they try and defend this Gold Fury.
Right, I'm going to be here. I'm going to link it.
Wait for it.
Towards Divios.
Let's push mid.
I'm going to link Fest really quick to heal. Can we push mid here?
Yeah, let's push towers.
Is Robin ult down? No, everything's up.
I shelled there too.
Let's go back to gold.
Robin?
Watch our Vulcan ult. That's what, let's take a look.
They're going to you link me or no?
No, I can't. Hold him wall!
Nice.
I guess Robin? Robin, Thunder?
Robin, 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
Back it down.
Slow him down.
I rooted him.
Oh, you jump. I'm on earth down.
Let's heal. Back up.
Do we have a meta or no?
Just heal.
I'm gonna just do back.
Let's just go to gold. Oh, it's backing.
We can
just go to gold. Pressure.
I'm just gonna heal all these. Healing all these.
Can you heal me once or no?
Yeah, heal him.
Definitely. Nice heal.
They just got red. I don't have life still.
Alright, that's fine.
We have
to fight.
You can pull me here. Let's just get out. This is awkward. This is too awkward. I have TP. They go for it. Yeah. Just be careful. I'm level 20. After this.
Look at it. Yeah, Link. This who he's pushing up here.
I'm not there. I'm not there.
Listening to Eager there, just so calm and collected. You could hear Black Dragons through their comms as well, how emotional and excited they were, but Eager, cool, calm, collected, even when, you know, it seemed like things weren't going their way.
What a clutch heal out of DJ to save Best's life. That Lotus Crown coming up huge in that scenario. Lotus Crown usually better for the AoE healers because your whole team can get the benefit, but in that scenario, saves the Best's life, so you can't complain about the itemization.
Oship gonna get a root onto Divios. Divios actually going in aggressively here with the Eagles rally. Aurora and Besta here as well. P-Bay taking some damage. He's a tanky Fafnir, but the Whirlpool's coming out. No escape for this Fafnir. No, he just barely gets out over the wall.
Knocked out of the Whirlpool, but I think he would have gotten out anyways. Didn't have the transformation there to give himself the immunity frames. Kraken is now available, as is the Vulcan ultimate. That's what's coming over the top. It's not gonna find a home though.
Aurora looking aggressive, gets a two-man taunt here. Whirlpool comes out as well, but Nan over the wall with those meatballs, so clutch, just disrupting everything Eager want to do.
But this is what Eager wants to do, is take these extended engagements around the Gold Fury, around the mid lane, force you to use your ultimates, they'll use theirs, and then they just sustain back up and take the fight again. That's the entire idea of this composition. Zapman playing this Medusa is going for the Fatalis. He's diving into the backline because he knows DJ has his back in terms of the heals, in terms of the ultimate to give him the immunity as well. This composition from Eager is expertly drafted to do just this. But I think that says even more about what Black Dragons have been able to do, because they've been able to weather the storm thus far. We're nearly half an hour in. This game is even. Eager has a 2,000 gold lead, but that can be gone in an instant at this stage in the game.
This is the #1 seed in North America facing off against an international team. And while the experience and goal difference is in Eager's favor, it still looks like an even game.
Right now, 27 minutes, man. DJ on this Aphrodite, level 19. The Aphrodite jungle, this is where I was saying, it doesn't matter if it's Aphrodite jungle or Aphrodite mid or, you know, whatever. It's the fact is, you have an Aphrodite, and now it's team fighting phase, and good luck handling that. Now, Black Dragons have done a good job thus far, in part due to the double Pestilence, the Divine Ruin coming out of Nan, as well as this Witch Blade that has now been completed for Fafnir. That's big in terms of making sure that anti-heals the Aphrodite. It's extra good on the Fafnir because you apply the anti-heal off of your auto attacks, and whenever you're up in the Draconic form, those auto attacks are applying very, very quickly.
All right, Tier 1 tower being traded for Tier 1 tower. You get the left-hand side. Black Dragons get the right, and now it looks like that Black Dragons want to pincer in here on Eager around this Gold Fury. This is where most of the action has been thus far, this game on this left-hand side. Black Dragons, Eager starting the ones to start the Gold Fury.
DJ in the front line, and he's going to get plucked back by Kliz. Still not taking a lot of damage, but it forces out the ultimate. The taunt into the Kraken does absolutely nothing to the Herc.
That's a very, very tanky Hercules, and look at Kliz jumping up and down. He's got the heals to keep himself healthy in that situation. He's got a meditation as well. He did use his TP to get in here. Divios hasn't used his yet. He is hanging around. DJ Pernicus and Aurora happy to stand on the front line here. Kliz going in, and same with Oship. Meatball knockup. Good driving strike there from Kliz onto Divios, but Kliz is taking a lot of damage. Oship here in the backline, diving with this Rav and the rest of his team, focusing on Divios and DJ Pernicus.
Eager still standing strong. The meditation tops up everybody. Oship has no ultimate, and Divios rallies right on top of him.
The boulder, but it's not enough. Out comes the Vulcan ulti, does huge damage, but it's not enough here for Black Dragons. Marcel's good ricochet there. The best is in a lot of trouble. Here comes Oship. He picks up Aurora. Marcel's gets the best. Zapman very, very low. Brazil are bringing it to North America, but Eager there, too strong of a team. Zapman on a killing spree. Nan can clean up a couple here unless DJ Pernicus can find him.
Are you kidding me? Zapman just stayed alive at 1 HP for the last, what, 10 seconds? Just juking out. The body blocks were beautiful. DJ is going to go himself on a rampage right now. Eager looked like they had lost that fight hand over fist. Both Divios and Zap 1 HP, but Zap using that additional movement speed, that Medusa passive, he doesn't take as long to move back and forth, to backpedal. That Fatalis pickup coming up clutch for the veteran Hunter. What an unbelievably close fight. Black Dragons did everything right there. Absolutely everything was perfect. They bait out multiple ultimates, and then they re-engage. Eager had 2 to Black Dragons 5, but the healing from DJ was just too much, and the body blocks, the team synergy, that was, against any other team that Black Dragons has ever played in the history of their games, they would have decided the opposition there. But against Eager, that have played this well for this long, you just sometimes they play it perfectly. There was nothing, I really don't think there was anything Black Dragons could have done differently in that scenario.
And now it's just led to this huge snowball effect for Team Eager. They get the Gold Fury, the Oracle Harpies, and now the Portal Demon.
Brutal. Absolutely
it's
brutal for Black Dragons.
One fight.
And this is exactly what these tenured teams do. We talk about it all the time. Energy, Obey, Eager, LG. They all have this opportunity to just play it slow, play it slow, play it slow. Oh, you messed up. We're just going to win the game off of your one misplay. And that's what's heartbreaking right now for Black Dragons is that I really don't think they misplayed. It's just that Eager made an unbelievable play. It's the buzzer beater fading away that bounces off the rafters and goes in. There's nothing you can do about it. It just sucks.
And it's so hard to kill any of these members of Eager right now. You saw DJ Pernicus was plucked in, but he's just so hard to kill. Nan takes so much damage. Ship goes in, but so does Divios. Kraken doesn't kill him, but Divios will. And now Eager, we've seen them establish this lead, and now they're looking to punish Black Dragons for it.
Divios stunned out on that right side. Boulder's going to hit a couple there, but not do a lot of damage. Petrified from Zapman. He gave him the no-look. Look to the right and then snapped it back to the left. Stuns out too. Doesn't find any kills, but again, Eager end up on top, not only in terms of the engagement, but in terms of total health bar as well.
You look at this skyrocketing experience and gold advantage for Team Eager now. They're going to be able to take this tier 2 tower in mid without much contention. Nan fell down there before even being able to fire his ultimate off, which is huge for Eager. Big win for them. They take the tier 2 tower. They're going to invade this left-hand side now as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see the tier 2 and left fall down either.
This draft from Eager just reminds me of a phrase that used to get beat into my head as a player by my support, Elbro Chacho, who was the MVP of the most recent console LAN.
You had to throw that out there, didn't you?
I had to. I got to give my boy some shout-outs. He earned it. You as a team in a competitive game like this, you have a one collective health bar. It is not 5 separate health bars.
Oh, Fire Giant.
Black Dragons on the fire, but Eager know this is happening.
Look at Divios. Look at Divios completely wrapped around the backside of the Black Dragons. Aurora gets plucked in, but he doesn't mind that. He's a very tanky Erlang Shen. DJ's here as well. Eager, they're basically running through the middle of Black Dragons and daring them to fight.
So much mobility. The double Fatalis is huge. The Eagles rally onto the Fafnir. Doesn't have his ultimate available. Low on mana as well. Pibe has to use the meditation to give himself some mana.
And now Oship's the one caught out, but he dashes away over the wall with that ultimate. Now Kliz is in a little bit of trouble. Knockback. Kraken comes out, but Marcellus jumps out of the way. Oship taking so much damage. Forced into the Aegis. Zapman dashes in for the kill. Kliz knocks up too, but it's not enough at this stage. Eager are just firmly in the driver's seat.
It's just control. And look at how grouped all of Eager is staying, because there is some AoE from Black Dragons, yes, but they're just making sure they have their Aegis ready to go for that Vulcan ultimate. They've got the Aphrodite ult as well in case someone had to use their Aegis previously, and they are just a death ball running through Black Dragons, and they just have too much HP and healing in order for Black Dragons to punch through it.
The Black Dragons tried to take the Fire Giant before, but they didn't have the damage. Eager certainly do, though. Fire Giant already at 50% HP. Zapman's on the backside of this one. Here's Aurora as well, looking to try and find Marcel's. But Black Dragons has successfully stopped Eager from doing this Fire Giant, but at what cost?
Aurora gonna get healed up by DJ. Pibe trying to run away, but it's Nan who's in the wrong spot. The best puts up number 15 for Eager, and Black Dragons are just walking in, trying to stop this objective. But this is, again, what Eager's draft excels at. These long engagements. Keep on coming in. We just got the heals.
Divios dashing towards Kliz. Eager drop off the Fire Giant, looking to make sure Black Dragons can't even get anywhere towards this objective. But Black Dragons are sticking themselves around, making themselves a nuisance, and now Eager can't do the Fire Giant.
I like this play from Black Dragons, though. Yes, they end up losing Nan in that last one, but this idea from them to just take a couple steps in and then full retreat back, and then a couple more steps in and full retreat back. There isn't a whole lot of instant burst on Eager outside of the Kraken from the best, and the best's build is really more in tune to chasing you down more than anything else. Yep. The majority of his impact has been laying down the whirlpools and then chasing you down with the Trident, Gem of Isolation, Fatalis combination. So Eager knows that they have to take these more extended engagements, but Black Dragons knows that as well, and is just using that to make sure that Eager doesn't try and do the Fire Giant. They lose the mid laner in that scenario. Now they're down 10,000 gold, but they're still in it, and that's what's important.
Exactly right. Not as lost yet. The experience and gold difference, though, show that Eager should definitely be the odds-on favorite to win this one. Oship and Pibe just going to try and get some experience for themselves here in the mid lane, but it's a lot to make up.
It is, but at this stage, 35 minutes experience becoming less and less relevant. It's only relevant for 2 members of Black Dragons right now. Now, the fact that Nan needs the experience is a big deal.
Yeah.
Vulcan, one of the more level-dependent gods, especially in the mid lane, so that is a big deal for the mid laner, but PB doesn't care that he's level 15.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal at all. Aurora's only level 16.
Yeah.
Not a big deal at this stage. It's more about finishing off these power spike items. Look at the Rod of Tahuti completed for DJ Pernicus. Nod can certainly use that on the Vulcan. The Brawler's Beatstick has been picked up by O'Shib, but it just might be too late for that anti-heal.
Portal Demon going to fall to Eager here, so they got a path back in, and as well as some extra golden experience in their hand. Aurora chasing down Cliz along with the rest of Eager. Cliz in a bit of an awkward spot. Out comes the Kraken and the Petrify. They're investing a lot here into this Hercules.
Look at
the heals coming out of Hercules and out of that meditation as well. A lot baited there for Black Dragons. 3 ultimates for 1.
Beautiful play there out of Cliz, or really just a kind of misguided play from Eager, I would say. Overestimating the amount of damage. For all the anti-heal that Black Dragons have, Eager have 1, and that's the Pestilence coming out of Aurora, and that's about it.
Importantly as well, Best doesn't have a Rod of Tahuti online at this stage, so he doesn't have a whole lot of burst damage himself.
Exactly, and you have a very, very short window to kill that Hercules before the heal goes off. Eager at the Gold Fury, but again, Black Dragon's trying to do the Fire Giant.
They're trying to sneak this one away, but the Portal Demon is there for Eager. Aurora looking straight at Nan, and as you should, he's the most vulnerable member right now. Divios jumping in as well. They're looking for this Vulcan. He's forced into the Aegis already before any damage dealers gets there, and Divios pummels him into the ground. O'Shib looking for Zapman. He's going to find him in conjunction with P-Bay, but Divios is going to chase down the jungler of Black Dragons. Disarms him. He just needs to dash in there, but O'Shib, very, very fast.
Yeah, he's got that 1,000-fold blade. I don't know if Divios is going to be able to catch up, waiting for that disarm cooldown, waiting for the whip, but O'Shib might be out here until the rotation comes from the rest of Eager. I like this idea. O'Shib gives him the loop-de-loop, trying to get out of danger. I think he's out. He's out.
Best is fast. Best is very, very fast.
No, he's gone. He's gone because he's got the wing blade as well. On top of that movement speed from the 1,000-fold blade, O'Shib somehow escapes. But Black Dragons lose their mid laner for the Hunter. And honestly, that could have been great for Black Dragons. Nan just cannot get knocked up by the Fire Giant. He took too much damage from the objective. By the time Aurora and Divios were on top of him, he was already half HP. That Aegis never got a chance to save him. I don't think he got a chance to use his ultimate either. Nana seems to be the one that needs to step up right now for Black Dragons if they want to pull this upset off.
In terms of just straight numbers, that goes in favor of Black Dragons because Zapman's level 20, Nan's only level 18.
Yes.
But the fact that Nan is level 18 is being denied gold and experience is what's letting Black Dragons down.
Not only that, but Zapman's full build. He doesn't really care. He doesn't need the farm anymore. Yeah, the red pot would be nice, but he's got the triple crit going. He's got the Rage, the Deathbringer, the Malice. He doesn't need any more farm. He just needs to be there in the team fights. Nan needs gold. He needs experience. He doesn't have that Rod of Tahuti yet, and that is going to be critical for Black Dragons to turn a fight. We saw what a Rod of Tahuti Vulcan can do with one ultimate from Pretty Prime earlier today, and that's exactly what Black Dragons needs if they want to win this game.
Eager pushing aggressively towards Black Dragons here. Nan, he's hit level 19. He's creeping closer and closer to that level 20 mark. Needs the golden experience to be able to contend with this Eager lineup. Needs to basically just not get picked at the start and be able to get some of those abilities out there. The fact that Black Dragons are still going so even in these fights, despite the fact of basically not having a Vulcan, is insane.
They've played out of their minds so far today. They've played really, really great, and we talked about it earlier today. SMITE has never been more competitive across all regions, and it just continues to be proven time and time again. Really exciting time at SMITE Esports to see a team like Black Dragons really be right there with a late game draft from Team Eager.
Aurora caught out a little bit here, but he's happy to take some of this damage. Taunts in, he's going to get a heal in a second. Boulder over the wall just to get some more damage out. But a good thing for Black Dragons, they don't invest a whole lot, but they look for the best now. Petrify out of Zapman finds 2, and O'Shib's taking a lot of damage in the back from Divios. Can he live through this one? Kraken comes out from Best. Divios picks up one, Best picks up the other one, and now the cracks are starting to show for Black Dragons. This could be enough to sink the ship.
Divios just does it all from Eager. That fight was going Black Dragons' way for half a second until Divios zoned everybody. That Vulcan ultimate is going to clean up the Best, who didn't have his Aegis available, but still 3 dead. Nan and Marcel's the only ones left alive. That is good news for Black Dragons in one way, because these are the 2 damage dealers, but very, very squishy. Both have both relics available and need to use them liberally to make sure they stay alive.
Right-hand side Phoenix should fall here. I don't know if Eager's going to be able to end off the back of this unless they can find one of these 2 damage dealers for Black Dragons. Fire Giant is still available for them as well. Left-hand side's got a tower and a Phoenix up, so the Titan's still relatively healthy. Not the worst situation for Black Dragons.
Nan has completed that Rod of Tahuti and has hit level 20, so there is some hope still for Black Dragons, but the light grows a little bit dimmer for the Brazilian team after losing the mid and right side Phoenix. I got to bring it back to Divios, though. This dude is playing insane, and he always does. It land. Every time you think you're talking about the top solo laners in the world and your brain forgets to include Divios, and then he just comes to land and slaps you silly because he's still absolutely nuts at his role. 7 kills for the solo laner, and there he just handled the entire backline of Black Dragons by himself, and still managed to clean up ship. There's no peeling this man. There's no handling this man. You just have to deal with the rest of Eager first.
Portal Demon gonna fall to Eager once again. Actually, Nan might have got the steal there. You looked at the numbers before. He's actually got 30k damage, so he's been dealing out the damage pretty effectively. But the healing coming out of DJ Pernica's 31,000, 32,000 now.
That's gross. That's what Aphrodite does.
And for the amount of anti-heal that Black Dragons have as well.
It's just not enough. It's just not enough because Aphrodite's healing numbers, because they're single target, are so insane, and DJ has gone for a mostly power build, which I absolutely love. Yes, there are some items that can give you CDR and survivability, but who cares about getting multiple mini heals off when you can get one massive heal off? That's DJ's idea with this build. Love the Void Stone as well, giving him some more power and protection up against Nan.
Kliz is trying to force his way into this Fire Giant pit as Eager started up. They've leashed it now. They're looking to find a fight here. There's the Kraken onto Kliz. Eager taking this fight to the end. Let's take a listen in with him, but the Vulcan ult is...
I'm on their carries. Any help?
Let me get you, Divios. Blocking shot.
You guys need to live.
We have to get out. I'm just gonna use. Can you get towards the gate? You can. We have to get out.
I'm good.
Okay, you guys aren't listening. Don't wait. I'm gonna just TP to fire. Waste of time.
Yeah, waste of time. Their base. Look their base.
Yeah. Go for kills.
Oh my goodness, that Vulcan completely turned that fight, and now Fire Giant taken by the Black Dragons. Divios is teleported in. Nan taking some more damage, but Marcel's is going off. He's the one for Black Dragons that is carrying this. Divios is very low now. Divios might fall down, and that is 4 members of Team Eager down.
Black Dragons handled the rest of Eager and then took care of Divios. Their base does take a good amount of damage, about 1/3 of the HP, really about half off of that Chaos Titan. But what a fight from Black Dragons. And just like we were saying, Hughes, all it takes is one Vulcan ult to change the course of a game. And again, Eager just overcommits to Kliz. They invest, again, Kraken, Petrify, these team fight ultimates that are designed to blow up squishies and tanky targets, yes, but Hercules, man, he still lives forever, and then Eager is all caught in one narrow corridor. Black Dragons now 4 members have the Fire Giant and the opportunity to protect their base. They need to get these waves pushed up and get some towers down, because right now, even if they're able to find 3 for 1 or 4 for 1, there's enough structures on the map that Eager's Titan would be too tanky to take. You need to knock down some of these structures and give yourself a chance to win the game in the next team fight.
That Vulcan ult caught me completely by surprise out of nowhere, and I think it caught all of Eager by surprise as well. Completely flipped the dynamic of that fight, and now Black Dragons, it's their turn to show what they can do. Experience is level across the board. Gold is becoming not as much of an issue for Black Dragons as it once was. They're still looking to finish off a couple of their final items, but now this game is close to even.
2 more items to complete here for Black Dragons. What looks like one for Kliz, likely to be a Mantle of Discord. It is going to be a Mantle of Discord. And then now Nan's done with his build. Still needs a power potion, still needs to upgrade his relics as well. That's a big deal in these late game team fights, though it can also be irrelevant because at this stage, one time using your beads could be enough. You could be losing the game or winning the game by the next time that Purification beads or Aegis is up off of cooldown. But Black Dragons, man, they are here to play.
We are basically 45 minutes into this game, and it is even. And this is the #1 seed from America.
Unbelievable. So great. This is such an exciting time for SMITE Esports. That's all I keep coming back to, man. It gets me so ramped up to think we have a whole year of this still to go. There's only the spring split, Hughes. The spring split.
Oh, ship needs to...
Oh, the crit from Zap. That crit build coming in huge. Now he comes in with the Petrify, catches Marcel's before he can get out of the air. P-Bay gonna get knocked up and Kraken.
Oh, no.
The hopes, the dreams, all erased by Steven Zapman Zappis.
The caster's curse. The caster's curse. We're talking them up. Nan caught by the whirlpool. He does a lot of damage there to the best, and the ultimate forces a couple of relics and ultimates out, but it's going to be too little, too late. Clears all the way on the opposite side of the map. Eager going to rush through this middle Phoenix and then going to rush down the Titan in.
Zapman just said enough.
Disappointing.
I'm done, dude. Zapman's like, all right, dudes. Good game. That was fun. I'm done with this.
The troll's over. Let's play now. This is getting too close. Too close. But 45-minute game. Team Eager edging it.